Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday Night Chat with Nick. How's everybody's doing? Let's see. Let me go to live control room setup. And bang, here we go. All set. Okay, I am here. Not sure who's gonna join me today. For a second there, it looked like my camera was not working correctly, so hopefully it's not gonna be a glitch. Before I start, the first thing on the agenda today is a thank you to Kyle. Kyle is a subscriber and a viewer. He doesn't comment much, but after he saw my last videos on the Marvel value stamp, he sent me a card, as you can see here, and inside the card was a value stamp that I used for the most recent video, the werewolf stamps. So thank you, Kyle, for giving me the werewolf stamps. And he wrote in here some nice words for me. Thank you for all the great YouTube contents. Best regard, Kyle. So awesome. Hello, Sushi X. You must be getting ready for the dinner crowd. If I am ever in the West Coast, you bet I'm stopping by for some sushi at your restaurant. So yes, thank you, Kyle, for the card and the stamp. Much appreciated. That is not an easy stamp to find. The werewolf stamp is not easy. So thank you very much. All kind of trailers and news came out this week. Yesterday, late last night, was a big Doctor Strange. If you have not seen the Doctor Strange teaser trailer, go check it out. Honestly, it was not all that. I was indifferent. I was not. I'm trying to find the right word to describe the Doctor Strange video teaser. Okay, it did not wow me. It did not underwhelm me. Okay, it was not. It looked okay. That's about the. I'm excited to see the movie even before I see the trailers. I like Doctor Strange, but as far as the teaser trailer itself, it really didn't give me much of anything to get more excited about. Okay. Oh, no work tonight. Had my wisdom tooth pulled. Ooh. Did you have 1, 2, or 4? Some people have all 4 taken out. I had 2. My bottom 2 when I was around 25, I think, but the bottom 2. Just 1, lucky you. 2 is good. I have 2 on top. That is, they partially came out, but I don't need to take them out. There's no need for a surgery because they are not. They didn't misalign my teeth. Well, 1 is okay. You should be up and about with very little pain tomorrow. But today, liquid diet, milkshake time. So the only thing that I did not like about Doctor Strange is Tilda Swinton. I did not like the look of the ancient one. It did not look, something just didn't jive with me seeing her in that role. I have voiced my displeasure when she was cast as the ancient one, and now that I see the trailer, some people complain that her shaved head make her look eh, but to me, it's a hell of a lot better look. She had this monk looking outfit on. It just seemed odd. Okay, it seemed odd and somehow just doesn't make any sense as far as a white woman wearing a monk outfit, calling herself the ancient one. Ah, Marvel, Marvel, Marvel. Out of all the things that you can screw up, I think this is one casting that I dislike extremely, extremely. I dislike this casting extremely. But until the movie came out and I see it, let's see. I hope Tilda will prove me wrong. But as far as the rest of the trailer, uh, let's see. The special effect was like Inception like, with the world bending, two world kind of like folding over each other kind of thing. So that looks okay. For sure, you see the origin of Doctor Strange, and they show how he was a surgeon. They show the car crash, the wreck. They show how his hands were damaged. And then they show the other. You see a glimpse of the other three or four main characters. Not much, not much to say, because whatever brief few seconds that they show of those three other characters, um, it was not enough to. It was not enough of anything. You see a lot of Doctor Strange, a lot of Cumberbatch. Oh, I almost forgot. I was asked to invite somebody, so Michael L. asked me to invite Punisher 88. I've been I just remember that right now as I talking. So I will invite Punisher 88, but if he doesn't show up, then uh, I hope he will. But otherwise, I will be here by myself. Um, let's see. There was something else that I saw the trailers for. Uh, what was it? Damn, getting old. Things I saw a few hours ago. Now I don't remember. Damn. Oh, I remember now. Rogue One. When the whole idea about Rogue One, I hate it. I didn't like the way Disney approached trying to make money on the Star Wars franchise. I understand Disney spent billions, okay, in buying Lucasfilm. I understand they want to make Star Wars movie every year. Why not? Why they to me they should have shot the trilogy with Ray Finn the same way Peter Jackson shot Lord of the Ring. Where he took 3 years to do the shooting and then release the movie bang bang bang. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. If I want to see, do I want to see a Star Wars movie every year, every Christmas for the next 3 years? That's what I wanted to see. But the fact that they are starting or just barely starting to shoot episode 8, and then they announce all kind of ideas like Rogue One, and then even a young Han Solo movie. There was some rumors for a long time about a Boba Fett movie. I just didn't want that. I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I really didn't care to see that. But when Rogue One trailer came out, uh, was it Monday? Or last weekend, or whenever it came out, I was I was pleased. It changed my mind. Okay, I can say that when Rogue One teaser came out, I was like, wow, this it looked good. It looked good. I like the tone, the look of the scene. I'm fairly outside of Whitaker. I'm not familiar with any of the main characters that they show on the screen. Um, sure, it remind me of uh, the Titanic, the movie. When I heard they're making the Titanic movie, I'm just like, oh my god, what a horrible idea. We already know the ending, but Cameron was able to make a movie that was decent to watch. Same thing with Rogue One. When I heard of the idea of Rogue One, I'm just like, do I need to see a movie of how the rebel stole the Death Star plan? I already know, but the trailer changed my mind. I'm not super jazzed, super excited. It's not like that at all. At least now I'm like, okay, I definitely will go see the movie, but I'm not gonna be. It's not gonna be like the Force Awaken kind of excitement for me, where I'm gonna go see the first opening day. I don't see it happening with Rogue One. Uh, let's see what else. I think that's all of the trailer that I can remember. I know this weekend, movie wise, The Jungle Book is coming out, and I can't wait to see that. I I definitely want to see that movie. I remember the cartoon very well. Um, this weekend is Anthony's birthday. He's turning 9, so it's gonna be a big bash for Anthony's this weekend, and depend on how things plan out, we might go see the Jungle Book. It's a lot of his godparents are coming into town to on Saturday, so his birthday is actually not until Tuesday, the 19th. But his godparents is coming into town on Saturday, and then his birthday party for the few of his friends are going to be on Sunday. So it's gonna be a busy weekend. If we can squeeze in seeing the Jungle Book, we will. But if we do not see the Jungle Book this weekend, we definitely will go see the Jungle Book next weekend. And then Anthony and I will do a review. Okay, we will do a review of the Jungle Book. But I have high hopes for that movie. Let's see what else is going on. I did buy a book. It has not come yet, but it will allow me to cross off one more book of my top 10 list. So hopefully it will come. I think it's supposed to come by Friday. So we'll see. For sure, I think next Monday a video will be loaded with one of the book that's gonna come off the list. The list. And the list. What makes this list hard is I'm picky. It's not. It's not about do I have the money to buy. I mean, I'm not buying high grade slabs of any of these books. Okay, so it's not a question of having the funds to buy them. It's more about trying to find the right book for the right price. So as always, I'm trying to find a bargain that have nice eye appeals. Okay, that's the combination. These days when I'm buying silver age books like this, it's not about no sushi. You are wrong. not Fantastic Four #5. That book is not easy to find, and um, I have seen a few copies since I started this list, Sushi X. The past 2 or 3 months, I have seen 2 or 3 copies, and the most recent copies was low grade, and then it had tapes. And I'm a big outside of Rusty Staples, tapes are my next most hated things. Okay, so it's not about the price, it's not about the grades of the last Fantastic Four 5 that I saw. It's about the goddamn tape. I saw that and I'm like, ain't gonna happen. I don't care what the price is. Um, I would not be surprised at all if Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four #5 will be the last book. Last book to be purchased, because it's just not an X-Men 1. Plenty of copies out there, plenty of copies. So it's not that I'm in no hurry to spend the money. I'm in no hurry to get it because it's on any given day. You see so many copies on eBay on any given auction at Comic Link or Heritage. For sure, Comic Link, there are at least one copy, if not two. So it's not a rush. I'm for sure always on the lookout for Fantastic Four #5. But yeah, the Silver Surfer stuff is fairly easy. It's more about finding the right book for the right price. That's what the hunt is for all of this. It's not like it's if I want to buy high grade slabs, that's a different story. Getting an X-Men 1 in 9.0 high grade will be 34,000. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a 5.0 ish. Same thing with Fantastic Four #5. I'm looking for something between 4.0 and 6.0. That's the sweet spot for me for that book. Okay, the few books I saw so far has been lower. That's why they have tapes. Not my kind of thing. But yes, so I got one more. One more is coming. Hopefully it will be good, and hopefully it's a keeper and I can make a video to show that off. I also got a couple other things that I plan to do a haul. Nothing major. Got a couple magazine. Speaking of magazine, I need to do collection videos that show magazine. I have a fairly decent size magazine collection that I need to do on tabs to do collection videos. Is my magazine collections. That would be one video for sure. I would do collection videos on Marvel Bronx, especially Iron Fist, Luke Cage, those books. Since we are in a middle of the hot season for Netflix TV show, I figure I do a collection video where I show all those books from Hero for Hire, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Marvel Premiere, all the books that have the first appearances of Iron Fist. So I probably show off that collection. Well, not show off. Just books I have. I have a good size amount of books for those titles, so I would do that. So that's 2 videos right there as far as collections concerned. My Silver Surfer collection. Whenever I complete that run, that's one video. The Fantastic Four. I want to do a video to show off my Silver Age Fantastic Four run. I have a pretty, I wouldn't say complete. I need to look. I have almost complete run of Fantastic Four from 30 something to 100. Okay, so there's like 60 something books in that run. But definitely that's one video by itself. It's just a lot, since about a year ago, last March, okay, March of 2015 was when I decided that I'm going to scan and grade my collections so that whenever it's time to sell the books, it will be quick and easy because everything is scanned and graded. And it has been a long task. So it's been exactly just over a year since I started that process. I set a goal where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do 100 books. The goal was to do 100 books a week, but then that's just way too much to ask. So I cut that down to like 100 books a month, and I have serious doubt that I can maintain the pace of scanning and grading 100 books per month. But now that we are 1 year, just over 1 year over into it, and I'm almost scanning. Well, I scanned over 1,100 books. Most of my collection videos are done from all the books that I have already scanned, graded, and organized. So I'm 1,100 books into that, and so I have probably 3,000 plus books left that are worth scanning and grading. There's a couple hundred books that are just junky readers or junky modern stuff that aren't worth anything. I'm not going to waste my time grading and scanning those books because when the time comes, they will be just given away to whoever want them. They're not going to be sold. I'm not going to try to sell those books for anything. So that's my plan is, so I'm roughly over 1,100, almost 1,150 I scanned so far. So I passed the 1/3 mark, which is a good thing. When I start this process, I'm hoping to get it done 2 or 3 years. So that's my goal is, in at least 2 years, maybe 3, I will have the remaining 3,000 plus books that are worth scanning and grading done, so that in 10, 15 years, if I had to sell it will be a lot less work. It's all done. I just have to make sure I save all the scan in 2 different locations so that if something happened, I didn't lose all the files. So that's that's probably the most important things on the back of my mind, because I'm just like, I spent so much time scanning 1,100 books, like a lot of times. Okay, a lot of times. My heads off to all the hardcore serious dealers. There's a lot of dealers on eBay that I have followed for 10, 15 years. And it baffled me that these people scan hundreds of books every month for the past 10, 15 years. Unreal, the dedication. But if this is, this is your job, how you put money on the table. So I guess it's not a big deal, but still, it floors me to see how some dealers, some long-time dealers, can do this kind of grind on a weekly basis for like a decade. I'm planning to finish it in 3 years. I, in hindsight, when I look back, I did scan a lot of stuff because I did sell and give away 10,000 books. So it's not like I haven't done this before, but it just seems so much work now because I'm a little bit older. Sushi X asks, at the peak of your collection, how many books did you have? At the peak of my collection, I have about. This is just my guess. Okay, I never actually sit down and count it. But at the peak, it's about roughly 13,000, between 13,000 and 14,000. That's my estimate at the peak of my collection. Now, as far as how many books was I buying a month, going back to high school and college, my pull list was always pretty small. Okay, on a monthly basis, I did not buy 30 books. When I see collectors today on YouTube, buying 10 books a week and having 40 titles per month, that was not me. I was not one of those collectors that buy that many titles. I think the peak of me buying books off the rack was about 15 books. Okay, 15, and maybe 13 are from Marvel and 2 from DC. that would be like the peak of my buying off the rack. Now, as far as buying back issues, in the early days of eBay, like I joined eBay in like 1999, or could be 98, I don't know. I had to go check my the date that you join eBay is on your ID, so I can take a look at that. It could be 98, but I think it's early 1999. In the early days of eBay and me buying, I was buying 5 to 10 books per week, daily. It would be hard to. Oh, Dan. Yes, back in the 80s, I believe between Marvel and DC, it was 120 titles. I think something like it was 120 to 140 monthly titles. Today it's like 500, something crazy. It's I today it's 500, and probably 100 is Independence, Image, and Dark Horse, and who knows what. So, but yeah, in the 80s, I think there may have been 120 to 140 titles that came out each month, and I bought, like I said, 14 to 15 books maximum. But going back to year 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, I was buying books daily on eBay. Daily. I mean, I swear to God, every day at least one package came in the mail, if not two. I talk about this many times. Like, if YouTube existed back then, I would have hauls daily. It was just insane because it was like a candy store. I mean, I was young, single, with lots of money, and for the first time in my collecting life, I was able to buy back issues that I could not locate between 1981 and 1999, unless I go to a few conventions here and there. Hello, Cougar. Yes, the golden age of eBay. Kids today do not know what it's like to shop comic books on eBay back in 1999. Oh, the good old days. It was awesome. It was amazing. I mean, it's I word can describe how awesome it was back then. The condition of the books, the prices. I mean, I bought so many high grade stuff that was not restored. books that I bought that I later slap and they got like crazy 9.2, 9.6, 9.8 Silver Age books. It was just insanity. You're constantly checking eBay on the phone today. Yeah. It was, the deal was awesome. I mean, plus, part of it too is the price. Back in 2000, this is, sure, CGC existed at the mid 1999, but back then slap even in 2000 was not, was very tiny segment of the market. Slap has not changed the market yet. It has not changed the value of high grades yet. Okay, so back in 2000, you can buy many high grade books for guide cheaper than guide. Once the slap market took hold, you start to seeing multiple of guides. Okay, like you see like 9.4 going for 4-time guides, 9.6 going for 6-time guides, and 9.8 going for 10-time. I mean, it was the multiple of guides didn't take off until I would say 2003. You know, uh, I just know that up until you know 2000, 2001, when I was buying high grades bronze, I paid less than guide always. There was no such thing as, it's a 9.2 in a slab, so you gotta pay multiple of guides. That's kind of talk started to invade into the hobby around 2003, 2004, I think, when all of a sudden the high grade books start to go multiple of guides. At least that's from my perception. I could be completely wrong. For those that can remember, fall back to 2003, 2004, let me know. I just know that prior to that stage of my collecting, I can't recall seeing books going for multiple of guides unless it's keys. Keys has always been keys. Okay, so you can't expect to pay guide unless it is, of course, books that nobody give a damn. I mean, back in 2003, I'm sure you can buy Strange Tale 110 below guide. Now, not so. And even now, it's all depend on how successful Doctor Strange will be. If Doctor Strange movie flop, and it could, you never know. This is not superhero bang pow action kind of thing. Who knows how the general public will accept Doctor Strange and his mystical power, mind bending special effect. It's like I said, you see the trailer, the teaser, it looked more Inception ish, the movie by Christopher Nolan, than a superhero movie. There were great deals, but you had to be careful. For every deal, there are books that was way overgraded. Correct. And I think I got pretty lucky over um, that time frame. I have always had, plus back then I was a high grade nut. So I don't even bother looking at anything unless I see razor sharp corner. So I didn't care if the seller calls something mint, near mint, or whatever hell they want to call it. I need to see razor sharp corners and edges before I buy anything. So I think my obsession with high grades back then screened me away from all overgrader. I can't say that I was disappointed at many of any deals. I never returned anything. I'm trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure that in 1999, 2000, 2001, I was a pretty good shopper. And only two of the books out of the thousands of books that I bought through eBay, only two of the books are restored. Okay, only two that was found to have restoration later as I submit the books to CGC. I got more restored garbage from buying books at conventions and all the scumbags dealers that sell me restored books, knowingly selling me restored books. Yeah, I remember those dealers. Yeah. The same one now that talk about honesty and all that garbage on the CCC board. Yeah. I'm not going to name names, but trust me, there's a lot of people, a lot of all high mighty people that talk badly about people selling restore books that used to sell restore books at conventions to people like me. I'd rather have a raw 9.0 than pay 10 times for a slab 9.8. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not, it's, it's come down to personal preference. Uh, you know, I have said this many, many times. I'm the same way. People look at my collection and they say, oh, he's a high grade whore. He had 9.8 slabs, so he must be some fucking idiot that pay 10 times. No, I bought those things raw for cheap. No, I'm not the kind that go out there and pay 10 times for 9.8 slabs. No. But yeah, there's a lot of haters out there that just like to lump me into that crowd. Not that that's anything wrong with that crowd. If you want to spend big money owning 9.8 slabs or 10.0 slabs or whatever, it's your preference. I it matters none to me. None. It matters none. And one of the things, my biggest pet peeve in this hobby is other people telling people on how to collect and what to collect. That is my biggest pet peeve. Uh, as long as I can remember. As long as I can remember. I'm not sure if that's some kind of unwritten rule between collectors. I have no idea. All I know is if there's anything in this hobby that annoys me more than anything else, is people telling me how to collect and what to collect. That has been my biggest pet peeve. Along with how to collect and what to collect, I also don't like it when people tell me how I should feel about my book. Anyone that tell me how I should feel about my books or can just jump off the cliff. Yes, Dan, I understand. Like I said, there is the hobby is so big for all kind of players out there. It take all kinds to keep this market going. It take all kind to keep this hobby going. So whatever float people's boat is fine with me. I just know what I know. I just know what I like. I think that's the best advice that I can tell younger collectors is figure out what you like. Figure out why you collect. Figure out what pleases you. Okay. Do not collect to impress anybody. Okay. I have my own belief that a lot of younger collectors fell into a trap. It's a trap. By young collector, I'm not saying young people. Okay? I'm lumping in new collectors. Okay, that's more by young. I mean newer collectors. I think a lot of newer collectors fell into the trap of collect to impress. Okay, and that's the culture of YouTube that kind of cultivate this kind of social psychological thinking. It's just like, a lot of people feel like, if I don't buy something cool and hot. It's not worth making videos or talk about. And I think if there's anything that I wanted to do for a long time from the start of this channel, has been to talk about comic books without showing that you had to buy something every day, every week. The hobby is a lot of fun to talk about. You can talk about artists, you can talk about storylines, writers. There's a lot of things that you can do to enjoy the hobby without having to fall into the trap of buying something to fit in with the crowd or to impress somebody else. And the best advice I can give to newer collector is that, figure it out. The sooner you can figure out why you collect, what it is that you collect that pleases you, the better off you are in the long run. You are a man of few words. Cougar, for a second there, I thought you were talking to me. So did you buy anything, Cougar, at the show? Were you able to locate something good for yourself? I just have the older I have gotten, the less desire I have to go to conventions. I just, unless it is a small show like you have, where I can freely browse through the books without having to elbow people to get to the long boxes. Yeah, those days of me doing that is long, long, long gone. The cost benefits is not there. To drive somewhere, to spend money, to get in the door, and then to see books that are way overpriced is a big turn off to me. I always hang around North Coast table. That name sounds familiar. North Coast. North Coast. Do they have an eBay account? I'm sure I've seen that name North Coast before. North Coast Nostalgia. Is that the one? Have you bought from eBay comic Mylars? No, I have not. His price are whack. That's my opinion of comic Mylar. Great books. He has a huge inventories of keys. Okay, keys. You want keys? He has keys. Amazing Fantasy 15, 3 different copies. You see it. Hulk 181, 5 different copies. You take your pick. But his prices tend to be on the high side. I have been told that he's a nice guy at convention, especially on the West Coast. I believe he's based out of California, and so he's attend a lot of conventions. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I have no reason to doubt um, my friends that know this dealer well. It's just that, to me, his prices are expensive. Uh, I think dealers that specialize in slabs tend to be expensive because, for the most part, they buy slabs and then they resell the slabs. So it's not like they get them for like really cheap. They don't get a lot of bargains. So, you know, they buy stuff near fair market value, if not at fair market value. So when they sell the slabs, they're gonna ask for premiums. Sushi X, I know. So you agree? Yeah, I need to figure out how to screen my search on eBay so that I don't see listings from certain dealers or sellers, because there are a long list of dealers and sellers on eBay that I will never buy from. And I'm tired of seeing them on my search. I just want to avoid. I wish there's a way to click on a seller on eBay and exclude them from future search. If there is a way and I miss out, let me know, because I swear I would love to screen out a lot of sellers because they are wasting my data feed by seeing their listing that are overgrade and overpriced. Gone. $500 for a two-bed. That's just nuts. For a VG copy, 500. That's nonsense. I, you know, but this is a good example of why I don't want to go to conventions, because I just don't have the patience to see this kind of silly pricing. And I'm sure there are bargains at those, bargain box, the one that say 10 for $2. What the bargain bins, right? But those things are always so full of people, and I just didn't want to stand around and wait and wait and wait, because usually when a collector get into those bin, they can spend 15 minutes, going through the boxes, and I just don't want to sit there for like 20 minutes to see him go through two long boxes to search for that one or two or three or five books for a bargain. And yeah, so yeah, I'm plus, I'm pretty much happy with most of what I have. So the days of me going to convention is zero. I end up just buying fillers. Now, if I do go to conventions, the one thing that I do take with me is my list, my long list of North Coast nostalgia. I was right. North Coast nostalgia. That name sounds familiar. That name sounds very familiar. North Coast nostalgia. Yeah. He has an eBay account too, right? Yeah, I think there is some history with that seller on eBay. I think from Cleveland. I need to go check my, my old list of dealers that I have a list of dealers that I avoid, a list of dealers that I have done business with, and a list of dealers that are question mark, is that I have had good deals and bad deals. And I think North Coast nostalgia might be on the question mark area or good area. Yeah, he's definitely not on the bad avoid list. That list is just too big. Oh my goodness. But yeah, comic mylar is like I said, I can't recall the last time I even, like, if I see his name pop up on my search, I immediately just skip to the next listing, because I just know the price is more than what I'm willing to pay. Cougar say North Coast nostalgia, good grading, fair price, still got to be careful. Yeah, I think he's okay. I think he's okay. I have bought a few things from him before. A few things from him before, and I think the last one was gotta be like over a year ago, and the the grading was decent. I was content. The book was fairly graded. I was not unhappy. Uh, his price is okay. It's not cheap. I don't recall if there was a. I think his offer had the best offer, right? Buy it now with best offer. I think, but like I said, I will look after this chat. I will look. Oh, he only sells slabs on eBay now. Ooh, interesting. then maybe I'm mistaken him with somebody else. North Coast, well, for sure, I know and heard of North Coast nostalgia. I mean, um, hmm. Now if I was in Boston, like I used to live, I think the one place I recommend people to go um, check out and buy from is Ted Superworld. I think Ted Superworld is a really good dealer in the Boston area. If you're in the Boston area, I highly recommend you check out Ted Superworld. And if Ted Superworld come to your convention, which he does, he does travel to convention, I think that's a good dealer. His price are okay. You can negotiate with Ted. He's not unreasonable. He's a dealer. He need to make his profit to put food on the table. That's understandable, but his price is not outrageous, and his grading is okay. Okay, that's to dealers. I have basically two criteria. That there are dealer that I say is okay. By that I mean that Kruger would probably agree. That for the most part they are fair grader. They may miss here and there, but for the most part, the grading is decent and not overgrade just about everything. So to me, there's two kind of dealers. Okay, those that I just don't bother with the books because the grading is so horrific that it's a waste of time to negotiate anything. And then there are dealers that are decent enough that for the most part I can live with the grade. They might be one level higher than I want it to be, but overall it's okay. And Ted Superworld is one of them. He got my recommendation. King Cobra, King Joe. Pardon my allergy. I got stiffly nose. You finally made it with 15 minutes to spare. Yeah, Holly Yee is not cheap. His grading is okay. Yeah, Holly Yee would be in the camp that I say is okay. I mean, some people can negotiate a fairly decent price with Holly Yee. With any dealers, my advice is, most dealers will negotiate. Okay, you just have to not insult them with some silly, stupid lowball offer that are stupid. As long as you are reasonable, especially if you buy in bulk, it's hard to negotiate one book. If you can grab a handful of books, they might be more willing to bundle the discount. At least that's how it was for me. That's one of the advice that I used to tell people is, normally I try to buy multiple books from one dealer instead of trying to buy 3 books from 3 different dealers, because I tend to get, uh, until I get, a reasonable price. Ultimately, it's a dealer. They expect buyers to haggle because it's human nature. You want the lowest price possible, and as a sellers, you the, you expect sellers to try to get the most money for their books. It's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with either side. Okay, I have explained this to a lot of people over the years. Is that as long as the offer is not too low, it's not insulting. As long as the asking price is not too high, it's not silly. But as a sellers, you can ask whatever you want. You know. Often when I hear people complain that, oh, I can't believe this seller is asking for this much. Yeah, it's stupid, it's silly, but it's he can name whatever price he want. He can put whatever price he want on the stickers. Okay. Ultimately, the book will sell when a buyer feel that the price is fair. So The seller can ask for whatever. It's just like eBay. To me, eBay seller that put crazy prices on books doesn't make sense to me. Now, if you put crazy prices on a book, but if you have a best offer, then that's more reasonable, because I might go in there and make you an offer 20% below asking price and see if you're willing to work with me. Okay. To me, I try to avoid sellers that put buy it now price and that's it, no best offer. To me, it's just like it's hard when you leave no room to negotiate. It's tough for me to take that seller seriously. Okay. I sold a lot of stuff on eBay and I have always used best offer. Always. Not just buy it now, take it or leave it kind of thing. We go back and forth with grades till we get it close. Sure. That's always, the toughest thing about buying and selling books is grading. Okay, that's why people always wonder why CGC or CBCS is so popular, because it removes that difficult. The grade on the slabs remove that stumbling block that often separate what a buyer and a seller can agree on a price. Because the price of any given book is predicated on the grades. Okay, so you can price whatever you want, but if the price does not match with the grades that the buyers perceive the book should be, then the chance of making a deal is hard. Okay, so good buy it now offers are taken quick. Have to sort those as a new listed. I just filter everything but auction. You know, my one of the few pet peeve I have with eBay is that best offer. I have had many offer where um, sometimes a book can be listed as $110. Okay. This happened recently. $110. I make an offer for 95 and the sellers don't even bother respond to the offer. It expire. To me, it's just like, what's the point of having the best offer there? It's the offer set there for 95 for 2 days. You could easily come back at 100, 105, whatever it was. But for you to do nothing, waste of time. Also, my other pet peeve is people that put best offer, but I'm not sure what the hell the best offer is, because I'm sure people that shop on eBay are familiar with, the automatic rejection, because as a seller, you can put what's the minimum. Like, let's say you have a book that's 50, right? You can put automatically reject any offer at 45 below. Okay. So if somebody put in, say, 42, it automatically rejected. But I have been through a few situations where a book is like $100 and I put in an offer for $90 and it's automatically reject. I'm just like, what's the point of having best offer if you're not even willing to negotiate 10% lower than the asking price? Any offers I made have been ignored. Depend then what your offer is. Is your offer reasonable or is it whack? I have had, you know, when I used to sell on eBay a lot, I didn't catch on to the automatic rejection. Um, and I used to get crazy, crazy offer. I used to have a guy that, I would list a slab, okay? I would list like a high grade X-Men bronze slab for like, 200 or 150. And he would throw me an offer of like $25. And he does this on every listing. And I'm just like, dude, enough already, okay? Every week when I put out 5 or 6 or 10 new listings, you make the stupid $25 offer. It cost me that much to to get the book slab. Why would I do that? Why would I sell you the book at $25 and basically not even recouping my slabbing costs and the eBay listing fees? On top of that, the book's going rate is about what I'm asking. Stop giving me this low ball, stupid ass offer of $25. Everything was like 25 bucks. Oh my God, that was awful. And then once I learned the automatic rejection, he was gone. Well, Dan, I understand. I have often, there is a, out of like say 10 offer that I make on eBay, most likely 5 ignore. 2 would be automatically accepted, and 3 are rejected. It's very rare for me to get a counter offer. Usually when I send an offer, because most of the time my offer is, I try to be reasonable. I, as a buyer and a seller, I know what's the going rate is for certain books, so I'm not going to try to get something 20% below market value. That ain't going to happen. So if I'm going to make an offer, I might go 5% below fair market value, and often it's a yes. If somebody lists a book, and want a quick sales, and my offer is 5% below fair market value, most likely they will agree. Correct, King Cobra. Yeah, I mean, for me to slap a book, it has to be able to fetch at least, when I slap a lot of books, like I said, I slap over 1,000 books. So what determined what to slap has been, unless I can get at least $60, I'm not gonna waste the $25 slapping fee, because a lot of time, I might have a 9.6 bronze books, like, say Ms. Marvel #5. Who's gonna pay me 35 bucks for a raw copy that I list as 9.6 on eBay? Not easy. But if I spent $25 of slapping fee and put that book for 60 bucks on eBay, gone. And so that is how I determine when I slap a book. This is back, 7 years ago. I saw a lot of slap in 2009, 2010, and a lot of time is the slabbing decision is based on that. It's not. There's people that well, there's a lot of people, a lot of modern collectors are slabbing a lot of modern books, and I don't understand the reasoning, but it's their money. They can do whatever they want, and if they want to have the book slab, even though it might not be worth the price of the slab, what can I say? I can't knock another collector's choice. For those that, as King Cobra just jump on, I spent the first 30 minutes of this video talking about how my biggest pet peeve in this hobby is people telling other people on what to collect and how to collect. It's my pet peeve. I have a lot of tolerance for stupid comments on my video, but I guarantee you, I have very little tolerance when someone act that way watching my videos, telling me how to collect and what to collect. It's just like, fuck off. I don't tell people what to do, so please keep your advice to yourself, since I'm not soliciting your advice on what I should collect and what I should buy. I can rant on that topic all day long. You know, uh, yes, King Cobra, it's a lot of work to slap books and a lot of time. The trade-off is it sell quickly. I mean, I have been down this road many times where the re- the way I work around that is I used to slap like 100 books a month, so that instead of like having to unless some people would slap the books, send the book into slap and wait 3 months to get it back. By doing 100 per month, like regularly, after 3 months, seem like you're getting slapped back every month. Yeah, Sushi X, when would you do your rant videos? Someday, it's coming. I'm just, like I said, I have so many ideas for all kind of different videos that I just haven't, run out of ideas to use any of my rant videos yet, because when and if I run out of ideas to shoot videos, then I will go into my rant videos. But until that happen, yeah, I have a lot of rant ideas. It's just that I'm sure it will pisses a lot of people off, because it's, hey, I'm not here to please everyone. There's a lot of things that pisses me off, and what pisses me off may not pisses other people off. It's Dan asked, my racks aren't set up for slab book to display. Yeah, I don't display any of my slab. None. All my slab are, store, um, like on my shelf. My slab are like this. I store my slab standing like this, uh, with the label showing like this. So when I'm looking at my shelf, I can see what the books are. So that's how I store my slabs. Okay, I'm not sure how other people store them. Some people store them in boxes, right? But I don't like to store things in boxes. I like to store them on my shelf here so that I can see it. But spine down. Um, let me think. I'm trying to see. I do it spine up. Like I said, whether it's good or bad, I don't know. I just know that I store mine this way, spine up, because I like to read the label a certain way, because the way all depend on how the label is put on this thing, so that when I'm looking at the label, I can read it this way, and that's why I store it spine up. But that's my only reasoning. I'm not obsessed on the book can be damaged in the slab. That's not me. We had a video, Dan. Ooh, I put up a video. Very shaky first video. Ooh, let me be the judge of that. Just a 73. I need to put you on my subscriber list so that I can see that video. Nice. But I will check it out after this. I want to see what your first video look like. It's almost 8 o'clock. Is it time for me to go? Well, folks, it's 8 03, unless there are any other questions. You know, I will close down this chat shortly. I can stick around for another 15-20 minutes, but you know, between now and the next 15-20 minutes will be the end of the chat. Now, after I made the most recent video where I show off my fourth world books, a few people contact me to buy the books, some of the books, and I have responded to a few people, sold a few books. So if you're interested in buying them, just contact me. I'm not sure if I plan to sell any more. You know, look like I sold some of the copies and I will hold on to the rest. You know, some people ask me why I have so many copies. My reasoning is I bought them long ago together. It's not like I went on eBay and bought 50 gods different time. Let me read a collection together. And it is just, to me, it might be because you can, absolutely. You know, like I said, my pet peeve is people telling me how to collect. Why are you having so many copies? What are you doing? Why does it matter to you? But part of my collecting thing is I invest, speculate, collect, hoard, and luckily I did not sell them because I think I can get good money for them even later if I hold on to some of those books. I don't mind selling a few copies here and there, as I have today and more likely tomorrow, but ultimately I plan to keep a few copies around in case I can get better money for them next month, next year. Hey, they are free. Like I said in that video, I have already paid off that collection by selling some of the books. So for me, it cost me nothing to have those books in my hand. So what's the rush? What's the rush to sell anything? You know, it's just like, yes, I believe Forever People One can go higher. Same thing with New Gods. You know, I think Orion is going to be a big character if you know, Darkseid is going to be in the movie. Who knows? You know, I think you know, I think, you know, ultimately it doesn't really matter. You know, whether I make any more, and you know, if it go higher, sweet. I just knew that, you know, when I slapped that Forever People over a year ago, those Forever People were slapped over a year ago. And I tried to sell one copy a year ago. Over a year ago, when I had those books slapped, I tried to sell one of those copies. And there was no taker. No taker. And I sold that book recently for twice the asking price. So waiting 1 year netted me twice the asking price. So like I said, it's a wise decision. So I don't see why the fuss is that I still hold on to those books. Yeah, that's my rant for this week. Other than that, let's see. There's nothing new going on. The only thing is, you know, for those that communicate with me privately the last couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks. One, for those that follow my channel regularly, you notice that I put out a lot of videos in the past 2 weeks. And I used to put out maybe 2 to 3 videos per week, right? But over the past 2 weeks, I put out daily videos. Part of that reasoning is for me to de-stress, if that make any sense. My dad, my lovely dad, had a stroke 2 weeks ago. And this is the first time I talk about it publicly, and it has been very tough for me and my siblings. We he's doing okay at this moment. It's not easy for him. He's facing his mortality, and he's depressed, but he need a lot of help. And I'm thankful that my 3 sisters are in Boston to take care of dad. But it's not easy. But for me to kind of keep my mind off that, it has been probably the big reason why I make a lot of videos recently, because it's just I just had to do something to not think about that. But yeah, so he's okay right now. His condition is stable. That's, I guess, the best thing that we can talk about. But thank you, everybody, for expressing concern. But like I said, I think I'm the calmer of all the siblings, because I don't live. My 5 other siblings is in Boston near him, so they are the one that bear the brunt of the caretaking process. And the best thing I can tell them is, Dad is going to be 81. He has lived a good life, and we have been talking about this for the past 5 years. That once he passed 75, anything can happen on any given day, even as he is healthy. That's just the way life is. The body breaks down, and it's his time. Maybe not yet, but like I said, if everything goes well, hopefully his condition will, it was kind of scary because he had to have brain surgery and to relieve fluids in his brain. Like I said, it was a scary time the past 2 weeks, but now it's past. Hopefully his condition will. I don't think he will be the same. Okay, I think that's too much to expect. The only thing I can expect is he can level out and at least enjoy his whatever time he has left, and we get a chance to see him in Thanksgiving. We're definitely going back to Boston between now and Thanksgiving to see Grandpa. But it's sad. Like I said, it was hard. But that's why you see so many videos from me, because that's my best way to deal with the stress. I said, as much as I have been prepared for this moment, never been easy, and if anything, it kind of remind me to remind everybody that comic books are great, but it's not everything in life. I think that's one thing that I have learned is balancing life, happiness, and comic books. It's comic books are, for a long time, comic books was probably in the top 2. Okay, now it's like 5th on the list, behind my wife, my son, my health. There's many other things. Yes, prepare for anything and hope for the best. Yes, you said it best, Kruger. It is. It's a time where you just have to, and it is what it is. My dad was healthy as it can be. The only thing that my dad, he's, for somebody that came to the country in his 50s. He came to America in his 50s. He is very healthy. He only take high blood pressure medicine. That's very typical of many Asian. We have high blood pressure, but that's it. He doesn't take. He's not one of those elderly people that have this long pill box that they gotta take like 10 different pills a day to be alive. My dad's not like that. He has just his high blood pressure pill that he had to take, and I think now that after the stroke, he had to take, from what I'm told, aspirins. There's a regimen of aspirins that he will need to take daily as well to help the blood. But that's it. I think it's 8:15. I have had my piece to say. I appreciate everybody to participate in this chat. My appreciation for all those that wishing my dad well. I have a big wish for him as well. I did pick up the phone and spoke to him. So I make sure I get my chat in with my dad. Can't miss that. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Stay well. Enjoy the hobby, but don't be obsessed over that, okay? Because life is pretty short. Enjoy it. Anyhow, thanks everybody for tuning in. As always, if you want to participate in the chat, just let me know. Cougar's here this week, but he didn't say anything about wanting to appear live, so I did not send an invite. But there's other chats on the message board, right? Well, on YouTube, there's a chat on the Comic Book Fanatics, Lord of the Long Box, and many of those chats have set panels member. Okay, they are great. I listen to all the chats. They are fun to listen to. A good way to kill 2 hours. But my chat is impromptu, no set topics. Any guests are welcome. So if anybody ever want to jump in and chit chat with me for 30 minutes or 1 hour, whatever it is, just let me know. And you are in. I don't discriminate. Before I go, Dan, can you video in with an iPhone? You want to try? You want to try right now before I go? I can send you an invite. Okay, hold on, Dan. And you see if you can get into that link right there. I'm waiting for Dan to see if he can jump in. I sent him an invitation. But yes, Joe, glad you can pop in. Showman88. I had a good chat with Joe privately yesterday. I'm getting old, Joe. I can't even remember things that happened 24 hours ago. So annoying. Getting old sucks. Bummer. Doesn't appear to be working. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have an iPad, Dan? I think you can do it with an iPad. I have seen other people participating in the Google live chat with an iPad, but not with an iPhone? I don't know. What you can do then, you might be able to participate without the video, just the audio. That was yesterday. I'm telling you, Joe, I used to have a very sharp memory, but as I'm getting older, my short-term memory, it's weird. Getting old is weird. You would think that your long-term memory would be slipping and not your short-term, but that's not the case. It's the short-term shit that goes away. King Cobra, I did get your email. As I'm chatting, I get your email, and the answer to your question is yes. That's a doable deal. Okay. So I'm not ignoring you. I just noticed now of your email, King Cobra. So I got your email back. So I will send you a check shortly, maybe tomorrow. And for those that man, King Cobra still have a lot of those books, especially if you're looking for high grade. He has some killer looking 9.2, 9.4 easy Spider-Man issue from in the 90s, like 80 something to 90 something. Joe sent me King Cobra. Joe sent me scan on 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6 of those books, and they are just gorgeous. I mean, they are stunning, high grade beauties. So if you're looking for high grade or early Bronze, late Silver Age Spider-Man, King Cobra has them. And that's it. I think it's time to shut off the chat since it's 8:20. And like I said, if you want to appear on the thing, Dan, if you can figure out how to appear on the live chat, I would love to have you on the chat. It will be a lot of fun, just like when Cougar was here. It was a lot of fun. But anyhow, it's good night time for me to watch TV. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching.